Right now, trouble brewing in Milwaukee. The Brewers' season comes to an end after being swept in the playoffs.
After a test from the emergency alert system this afternoon, hear from those in charge of those alerts and what goes into making our phones buzz.
And authorities in Janesville capture an attempted murder suspect, but not before he fired a shot at a detective. What Janesville police are saying about the arrest. It's all ahead on News 3 now at 10. The playoffs for the Milwaukee Brewers ended almost as quickly as they started. A very short best-of-3 wildcard series. The visiting Arizona Diamondbacks easily swept the Brewers.
Milwaukee's home field advantage wasn't enough to stop the Snakes. News 3 Now sports director Zach Hanley is here with more on the disappointing exit from the Brewers.
Yeah, got to win game 2 to force a winner-take-all game 3 tomorrow, but the Brewers stuck to what's been a theme for them in the postseason. Early exits. Milwaukee now 1-9 in their last 10 playoff games, and it's not like they didn't have a shot. Bases loaded in the 8th, and Willie Adames grounds out to second to end the inning. Then in the 9th, tying run at the plate, and William Contreras strikes out swinging to end the game, the series, and the season for the Brewers. Our Andrew Banstra was there tonight for game 2 and joins us from a disappointed AmFam Field. What's going on, Andrew?
Yeah, Zach, exactly like you said, a disappointed American Family Field here tonight. When the Brewers took that 2-0 lead in the first, everything looked so good. In fact, Freddie Peralta had a no-hitter in the 5th inning, but then in a span of 5 batters, the Brewers went from leading 2-0 to trailing 3-2, and that's kind of when the energy started draining out. You showed in the 8th inning when the Brewers almost were able to get some runs. Next thing you know, the fans start pouring out of the stadium, and they couldn't get it together in the 9th. So really, a devastating loss. If you're Milwaukee, you look forward and think, what do we need to change for next year? We have a young team, but how can we continue to improve? And for the fans, it just feels like more heartbreak. For now at American Family Field, I'm Andrew Banstra.
Well, there's always next year, right, Andrew? Well, coming up a little later in sports, we'll look at the big 6th inning that pushed the Diamondbacks ahead for good.
It's been a warm week across southern Wisconsin, but many are wondering, when will the temperatures start to feel like fall again? Meteorologist Alex Harrington has the answer for you in the First Warn forecast.
Yeah, Charlotte, I got good news. One more nice day. I like to be the optimist if I can, but then the fall-like temperatures are going to move into southern Wisconsin. We'll track that here. Look at future track as we plan your Thursday behind me. And then in front of me here, we'll take a look at the temperatures, take a tumble. We'll start off in the lower 60s, though, on your Thursday morning for work and school. And then look at the winds coming out of the south and from the west. We see that on our future track model. We also see that here in my handy-dandy little monitor. I'll be tracking the cold front here. The winds are going to shift, and then the temperatures are going to go down. Let's watch that here as that plays out. As we go on into your Thursday, right around the lunch hour, notice the winds out of the southwest, a few clouds out there, temperatures boosting all the way up to right around 69, 70 degrees. Then look what happens as we go into the afternoon hours. The winds start to turn more out of the west. We get one more nice day at 74 degrees. And watch what happens here as this cold front moves through the area. Could see an isolated shower or two as it moves through, but the winds then turn out of the west and the northwest. So we go towards that Thursday evening, temperatures start to dip down into the 60s. And as we carry on here, this time on your Thursday night, temperatures in the 50s, so that's not too bad. But as we carry on here into your Friday, look at the temperatures starting off upper 40s, right around 50 degrees. And as we carry on here, going on into your Friday morning, going on into your Friday afternoon, the temperatures stay in the 50s, folks. So breaking down here real quick, your Thursday, one more nice day. We're going to go all the way up to 74 degrees. But when can you expect fall-like temperatures to bring us frost? That's coming up.
Alex, thank you. New at 10, police in Janesville arrest a man wanted for attempted first-degree intentional homicide. 25-year-old Tyrone Gibson was spotted by officers in the area of North Oak Hill at Barham Avenues just before noon. When confronted, Gibson pulled out a gun and shot at a detective. He ran from the scene but was later arrested on Peterson Avenue. No one was hurt.
A contractor from Fort Atkinson has pleaded guilty to federal charges of wire fraud and money laundering. It stems from a multi-year home improvement scam that took advantage of multiple people across the state. 52-year-old Tyler Hansen admitted to lying to customers about using their money for personal expenses rather than to buy building materials for projects he'd been hired for. He would deposit that money into a business account, then transfer the funds to his personal account. The fraud scheme ran for nearly 2 years, from 2020 to 2022, and during that time, our Call for Action team received dozens of complaints about Hansen and his companies. No need to panic. That loud buzzing alert on your phone this afternoon was just a test. But what about all those other real emergency alerts you get on your phone?
Our Braden Ross spoke with the people in charge of them in our state to find out what all goes into making our phones buzz. Braden?
Yeah, the government sends emergency alerts to your phone for all different kinds of reasons. But no matter why they're sent, you should always pay attention to them. After all, they save lives.
It could be something, for example, incoming space debris. That's a possibility.
Don't worry, that blaring alert you got Wednesday was just a test. But it's not just asteroids and hostile nations those alerts could warn you about.
We use the system anytime it is necessary for what we call a potential loss of life or risk.
Not including National Weather Service alerts, Wisconsin-based originators sent 148 wireless emergency alerts last year for everything from missing children to public safety warnings.
We take care of things related to, for example, 911 outages, if there's a fiber cut, if there is boil water, for example.
Many of those alerts come from this room at Wisconsin Emergency Management in Madison.
We can draw a circle there. And then we can decide, well, how many phones do we want to go off? Trust the system. Yeah, the system works.
In fact, those alerts can actually save lives. Don't believe it? Just ask Melissa Marchant of the Wisconsin Department of Justice.
I can't emphasize enough what life-saving tool this is for our agency and our state.
The DOJ is responsible for sending Amber Alerts for missing children and Silver Alerts for endangered elderly people.
With the Silver Alerts, which has been really successful, the WIA, the ones that go off on your cell phone, 50% of the time, that alert is responsible for finding an individual safely.
Your smartphone settings do allow you to opt out of the alerts if you want to, but Marchant says the benefits far outweigh the occasional annoyance.
I know sometimes it's interrupting to people's lives, but we truly are very diligent about when we send these alerts, and we are truly needing the public to help us.
Now, not only that, but soon the government emergency alerts could be coming to even more devices in your life. Wisconsin Emergency Management State Communications and Warning Officer Paul Hughes told me smart home devices like Amazon Alexas could be next to get emergency alerts.
Braden, thank you. Dane County's top leader, County Executive Joe Parisi, announced today he has plans to retire in May. Back in 2011, he was elected Dane County Executive with 70% of the vote, a position he has served ever since, leading the county through the COVID-19 pandemic. At today's retirement announcement, he shared a parting message to those in the county.
I'm constantly amazed at how blessed I am to be in a position where you can make such a difference in people's lives. When there's a problem, you can put together a solution and enact that solution and see results. So I'm sure I'll miss that.
During Parisi's tenure as county executive, Dane County added nearly 100,000 new residents and saw its annual budget grow to over $282 million.
New at 10, the president of Madison College is announcing his retirement. President Jack Daniels III will retire next June. He'll have served at the college for 11 years at that time. Among his accomplishments are the vision and creation of the college's Goodman South campus. He also led the school through the COVID-19 pandemic. A national search for his replacement will begin in the coming weeks. Multiple hearings at the state capitol today introduced bills that would impact Wisconsin's trans youth. One would ban trans kids from participating in girls' sports. The other would prevent minors from receiving gender-affirming care. The bill would prohibit doctors from performing those procedures unless they are addressing a life-threatening illness or injury or addressing a genetic disease. Saturday's Badgers football is just one of many homecoming festivities happening this week at UW-Madison.
Another big event, of course, the homecoming parade. And if you're planning on traveling through the Isthmus on Friday, you want to give yourself a little extra time. Many streets and roads will be closed for parade staging. The parade route runs from Gilman at Wisconsin Avenue over to State Street down to Lake Street, and those roads will be closed from 5 p.m. until 7:30. To see what other streets are affected by the parade, look for the story online at channel3000.com.
Earlier today, constituents of the late Senator Dianne Feinstein paid their respects. Her body is lying in state at San Francisco City Hall. The city is where she served as mayor before her more than 30 years in the U.S. Senate. Her close friend and fellow San Franciscan, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, was among the mourners. A funeral is set for City Hall tomorrow. Congressional lawmakers are headed home tonight, no longer able to conduct business on the House floor after the historic removal of the Speaker of the House.
And Skylar Henry reports several conservative hardliners have thrown their hats into the ring.
As we need to unite the conference, I think I can do that.
High-ranking Republicans Jim Jordan and Steve Scalise announced their candidacy for Speaker of the House Wednesday. Kevin McCarthy, the man who held that job until Tuesday afternoon, was asked about it.
Oh, they're two good friends. They both would do great.
Others may jump in before the first vote's expected next week. Until then, the People's House is closed for business, and many Republicans blame Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, who led the charge to remove McCarthy.
I think it was deplorable. I think it was disgraceful. And he put his own petty personal grievances ahead of the country.
Gaetz is standing by his decision.
The nerve of these establishment Republicans to have to take a week to go have a good cry and then blame us for being the reason that we can't get the work done. All we want to do is the work.
The future speaker will have to have the support of at least some of the hardline conservatives who ousted McCarthy. And there's the added pressure of a November 17th deadline to fund the government and avert a shutdown.
We cannot and should not again be faced with an 11th hour decision. Brinksmanship threatens to shut down the government.
Some Republican voters expressed their frustrations.
It makes me almost ashamed to be a Republican. We had a chance to govern, and we decided, oh, we don't want to do that. We'd rather have chaos and disruption.
And paralysis until Republicans in the House can find a speaker that most can support. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And more local stories just ahead after the break.
Looking to save money on your energy bills? Well, today was Energy Efficiency Day in Wisconsin. We have the tips and tricks to cut costs on your utility bills.
At Informed Choice Insurance Agency, we're proud of our 5-star reviews.
My agent Matthew explained everything about Medicare and the needed supplemental insurance. He took the time to show me several different plans and the plus and minuses of each policy.
Andrea was amazing, from her knowledge to her presentation to her skills in navigating complicated and intimidating waters. I cannot emphasize enough how much she helped me and my family.
Need help with your Medicare or Marketplace health plans? Get 5-star service at Informed Choice Insurance Agency.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland,
as in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor.
Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it,
Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
It really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
This is you. And you are why we do what we do. Each and every one of you are wonderful, amazing people. So we'll treat you that way on your journey of trusted care. Because the way you, and you feel matters. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health, know how much you matter to this world.
It's never about, in the game of golf, just one thing. It's everything. It's all-encompassing. In Golf Galaxy, we are your team. And if you have a question on your equipment, your fitter's here for you. If you have a question on your swing or something mechanical, our Class A PGA professionals are here for you. If you need help fixing something, our club techs are here for you.
We have the fitting bays, we have the TrackMan, we have Biomech putter fitting system. When you come in, we want to fit you with the right apparel, the right footwear. We have everything that you could possibly need to improve your game.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show.
Cedric the Entertainer!
I got a little dog. Brooklyn is like Cardi B. She be like, what's up? Come outside. What's good?
Plus, the winner of American Ninja Warrior.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Today is Energy Efficiency Day in Wisconsin. Energy advocacy groups in the state want you to know all the ways you can make your home and business more green.
As Armand Rahman found out, there's even more federal incentives to come.
That's right, guys. In 2022, Focus on Energy, the state's renewable energy program, says with incentives and rebates, they saved enough energy to power 733,000 homes in Wisconsin. That's enough to power every home in the Milwaukee-Waukesha area and then some.
It's connected to the internet, and then it'll tell me the power draw of each individual circuit. So
solar panels have been powering Dylan Cry's home for about 4 years. For the past 2 winters, he's also had a heat pump.
And I promise it has worked and gotten us through. I know a lot of people are concerned that heat pumps don't work well in Wisconsin, and I can tell you that they have.
He walks the walk and talks the talk as the residential portfolio manager for Focus on Energy.
Solar just continues to skyrocket.
Cry says right now you can take advantage of improved Inflation Reduction Act tax credits. For the next 10 years, energy-efficient home improvement projects like doors, windows, and HVAC systems and installing solar panels qualify for tax credits equaling 30% of the cost.
Energy efficiency is a win-win. It reduces money, puts more money, or reduces your energy use and puts more money in your pocket since you have to pay less on your energy bill.
Next year, the power to go green will soon be accessible to more Wisconsinites with $150 million in energy rebates from the Inflation Reduction Act.
These federal programs that are, up to $8,000 for a low-income family to get a heat pump in their home, I mean, it's really going to change the market. And there's a lot of planning that goes into that to making sure that we get it right.
But today, you can celebrate Energy Efficiency Day by getting your home ready for the chilly months. Focus on Energy has free packs to help winterize and seal cracks, doors, and insulation.
It's going to make a big difference on your energy bill and as well as the comfort in the home as well over the winter.
You can get a free energy assessment for your home and business on Focus on Energy's website.
Your kids will soon have to take their driving test in person again. A pandemic-era waiver that allowed 16 and 17-year-old drivers to skip the road test altogether will end on New Year's Eve. Those who finished driver's ed and their required behind-the-wheel training can still apply for that waiver through the end of the year. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation says just over 144,000 parents and guardians took advantage of the waiver. It was created to address a backlog of license applications and renewals. Uber will now take your returns off your hands.
That's right. It's added a service that drops off e-commerce packages at a local post office, FedEx, or a UPS outpost. Uber says drivers can take as many as 5 prepaid sealed packages. They have to be valued under $100 and weigh less than 30 pounds. The service costs a flat fee of $5, but Uber thinks many people will opt into it since many dread making those online returns. There's a new perk for Spotify Premium subscribers, audiobooks. Premium members can now get 15 hours of listening per month. The feature isn't available yet here in the United States, but it will be later this year. Users can track their hours in the app. If they reach their max while in the middle of a book, they can simply purchase more hours. And you'd be able to purchase thousands of hours listening if you win tonight's Powerball lottery jackpot, which now stands at over $1 billion. And there are tonight's winning numbers: 9, 35, 54, 63, 64, and 1. The estimated $1.2 billion jackpot, the largest Powerball grand prize so far this year. Here's Alex, another check of the First Warn forecast. One more day of the warm weather, right?
Yeah, if you don't win the Powerball, you're going to win in one more warm day tomorrow. So everybody wins.
If you win it, fly someplace warm.
Yeah, that's true.
Then it turns colder after that. We'll have to be looking at some frost chances, too, by the end of the weekend. Break all that down now.
Okay.
All right, here we go, folks. Start off with those 3 things that you need to know. Again, that cold front is going to be coming back to the area as we go on your Thursday, going on into your Friday. And with that, a couple shower chances. But the bigger part of the weather story here, folks, as I was just mentioning to Eric and to Charlotte, much colder weather by the time we get to this weekend, and possibly some frost by the time we get to your Sunday morning, especially in those low-lying and susceptible areas. Nothing cold right now about the temperatures out there. These are our normal high temperatures for this time of year. In the middle to upper 60s, can't be beat. A little colder than it was last night, but still very mild out there, folks. Temperatures as we start off your Thursday morning, we'll do 53. That seems to be a pretty popular number across the area, maybe 55 in Windsor and 52 to the south in Brooklyn. Taking a look at the temperatures as we go on into your Thursday afternoon. Look at this. I just said it's going to be one more nice warm day. We'll do 74 here in Madison, but look off to the west and western portions, Dane County, just a touch cooler because we'll have that cold front that I was mentioning be moving into the area Thursday, and then the cold air is really going to start to fill in on your Friday. Temperatures across the area, middle to upper 60s. So again, it's pretty mild out there. It really can't be beat for this time of year. Well, let's track those temperatures as we go on into your Thursday. Again, starting off right around 53 in Madison, lower 50s, upper 40s, but that's typical for this time of year. But then we have one more warm day. Thursday late morning, temperatures in the middle to upper 60s. As we go on into your Thursday afternoon, temperatures approaching 70 at the lunch hour, so take it outside. Then our weather system moves into the area. Notice this kink in the temperature, or kink in the winds rather, going from the southwest to northeast, coming in from the northwest behind that. That's the cold front moving into the area, and temperatures start to tumble as we go into your Thursday night. Look at this on your Friday morning, starting off upper 40s, right around 50. Strong winds out of the west, northwest, but on your Friday, temperatures staying 50s. So we go from the 70s to the 50s, folks. Let's recap here. Warm for one more day, then below normal temperatures enter the forecast Friday, lasting into the weekend. Frost possibly on your Sunday morning. Communities, Mazomanie, Arena, Spring Green, Wisconsin River Valley, also friends up towards Camp Douglas. If you're the folks that, as temperatures dip into the upper 30s as we look Saturday night, Sunday night, going into Monday night, if you're some of those folks that have those susceptible plants that have a tendency to dip down into the lower to middle 30s when other areas are in the upper 30s, pay heed to our forecast here. Some of those tender plants, if you want to hang on to those flowers for a little bit longer, you might want to bring them in on our weekend night. Then temperatures are going to start to warm back up here behind the cooler temperatures we head towards Wednesday, going on into your Thursday, out ahead of another weather system, folks. Thanks, Karen, for sending us this picture in the Wisconsin River Valley and Arena. Beautiful photo there, and you can submit those photos to us. First warn at WISC-TV.com.
And coming up in sports, the Brooms were out in Iowa tonight. How Wisconsin made easy work with the Hawkeyes. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
It's Ford Truck Month. Time to defeat any task in a Ford F-150 with all the capability, productivity, and technology of Ford F-Series. America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. So get to Ford Truck Month and get into a built Ford tough truck.
Ain't nobody stopping me. Lease a new Ford F-150 STX for $419 a month for 36 months. Only at your local Ford dealer.
I had a lot of bad days with gout, but that one took the wedding cake. Even with medicine, my uric acid was still too high to stop painful gout buildup. Then a gout specialist told me about Cristexa.
Cristexa is a prescription medicine for adults with gout whose symptoms are not controlled by other gout medicines.
I learned Cristexa quickly starts working to break down gout buildup.
Cristexa is an infused medicine. Serious life-threatening allergic reactions can occur while taking Cristexa. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms such as shortness of breath, trouble breathing, dizziness, itching, or swelling of the throat or tongue. Cristexa is not recommended if you have high levels of uric acid without a history of gout. Do not take Cristexa if you have a rare disorder called G6PD deficiency or favism. Before receiving Cristexa, tell your doctor if you have a history of heart problems and all the medicines you take. Cristexa may cause gout flare-ups, allergic reactions, nausea, bruising, sore throat, constipation, chest pain, and vomiting.
I received Cristexa for about 6 months. Now I'm in control, not gout.
Find a doctor who specializes in gout at goutdocnow.com.
We've got questions about Medicare plans.
Well, we've got a lot of answers. How can I help?
Well, for starters, do you have a Medicare plan I can actually afford?
How about a plan with a $0 monthly premium?
Well, that's a great start. What other benefits can we get?
Things like dental, vision, and hearing. But let me help you pick the plan that's right for you.
Don't wait. Call 1-800-AETNA for you to get answers to your questions and pick a plan that's right for you. And let's make healthier happen together.
Our city has a pulse.
Steps from bustling and wild. Come find familiar. Experience new. Live in our rhythm and stay.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
24 times this season, the Brewers have won 2 straight games where their starting pitchers weren't Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff. That's the task now in the NL wild card, but first things first, you got to win Game 2 to keep that season alive. And like in Game 1, things started out great for the Crew. First inning, already up 1-0. Willie Adames drops one into the gap in center field. Carlos Santana hustles home to score. Just like that, it's 2-0 home team. But then the 6th inning came, and Ketel Marte smacks one right back up the middle. 2-run score, part of a 4-run inning for the Diamondbacks. Brewers get swept out of the playoffs, 5-2, the final. It's been 13 up and 13 down for Wisconsin this season, and Kelly Sheffield's squad has been even more dominant since Big Ten season started. The Badgers haven't lost a set in conference play. That streak was on the line for the nation's top team against Iowa. First set, Badgers set up Devin Robinson, and she goes back corner for the point. Robinson finished with 9 kills. Wisconsin would win the first set. More of the same in the second. This time it's Temi Thomas Ailara, and that's Temi time. Team high 10 kills from her. Badgers break out the brooms with a 3-set sweep. Wisconsin still hasn't dropped a set in Big Ten play.
Wisconsin controlled.
When the calendar turns to October, that means one thing. Basketball is right around the corner, and Wisconsin is loaded. Greg Gard returns his entire starting 5 from last season. Plus, they've added A.J. Storr from the transfer portal and bring in a star-studded freshman class. Needless to say, the expectation in Madison isn't just to compete for a Big Ten title, it's to win one. And this group knows what's at stake this season.
It's to win and to win championships. I mean, that's what Wisconsin, basketball is, and that's what we believe we can do this year. And I promise you, there's no one in the locker room that thinks we can't do that. And so it's really, let's just kind of put it together and getting the details right.
We always hold ourselves to high expectations. I think we can definitely do that. There's no doubt in my mind that we can't do it, but we have to be able to attack every day and win every day.
And don't forget to check out this week's episode of Wisconsin Huddle with Tyler Wall on Friday at 6:30 right here on News 3 Now. And remember, you can watch a live taping of the show at Buck and Honey's in Monona at 6:30. Braylon Allen will join me on the set. We're back after this.
First place. How do you get to the top? Just keep on climbing. Yours, Tacoma.
Right now, get 3.99% APR for 48 months on a new 2023 Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
Elevate your savings at the Century House. Right now, buy stressless recliners, sofas, and office chairs and earn up to $1,500 credit toward the purchase of additional stressless furniture. Or receive $400 off the purchase of any stressless signature base or cross-base recliner and ottoman. Don't wait. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Lots of insurance companies make promises about how much you can save if you switch over to them. Well, here's our promise. With the West Bend policy, you can save everything, every memory, every detail. Everything you've worked so hard for. Once it comes time to actually make a claim, a cheap insurance policy can really cost you. Why not protect everything that matters with a policy from West Bend? Because the worst brings out our best.
I suffer with psoriatic arthritis and psoriasis. I was on a journey for a really long time to find some relief. Cosentix works for me.
Cosentix helps real people get real relief from the symptoms of psoriatic arthritis or psoriasis, serious allergic reactions, severe skin reactions that look like eczema, and an increased risk of infections, some fatal, have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine or plan to, or if IBD symptoms develop or worsen.
I move so much better because of Cosentix.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentix.
Look, Mom, I found one. Oh, yeah, you did, but we need an ATM from our bank, unless you want to spend a small fortune in fees.
No, thank you. Banking with BMO means more fee-free ATMs than the 2 largest U.S. banks combined, including places like pharmacies and grocery stores.
Saving money and more convenient. Look at you being so helpful.
What'd you expect? You're studying at a help stop.
That's you.
That's me, at a desk.
When a bank helps you get and stay ahead, that's the BMO effect.
Daddy teaches you can be anything in this world that you want to be, right? Don't Daddy teach you that?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you're black or white or any color.
See, this is how children think right here. Critical race theory wants to end that.
You can make friends.
Yeah, you can make friends, no matter what color they are. So we need to stop CRT.
The truth wins if we're all brave enough to tell it.
Dear First Place, how do you get to the top? Just keep on climbing. Yours, Tacoma.
Right now, get 3.99% APR for 48 months on a new 2023 Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
Donate kids' winter coats at Clinky Cleaners during Coats for Kids.
Tonight on The Late Show, for all we know, the next Speaker of the House, Anderson Cooper.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, new tonight on CBS.
That's coming up next. Alex is back. Final check of the forecast.
Yeah, we got one more nice warm day, summer-like really, and then we turn right into fall in our 10-day forecast. Look at that. Temperatures go from 74 on your Thursday into the 50s by the time we get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Could be looking at some frost even in some places. Those susceptible areas that get frost when temperatures are even in the upper 30s should pay heed to the forecast here. And then, folks, we've got our Badger Homecoming Parade on Friday evening. We were just talking about that earlier in the newscast. Bundle up. Look at that. Temperatures only in the upper 40s, trade around 50. Could be a spotty shower or two around the area, but breezy and chilly for sure. So plan accordingly and plan to dress warm.
Maybe the Brewers were just like, baseball weather's over anyway. Let's just mail
I
this.
think they were just tired.
Yeah.
Just tired. It's a long season.
It was something. All right, guys, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.